गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरा गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Let there be peace, let there be peace and love amongst all human beings of the universe. Let there be peace. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We are contemplating on the book called as Essence of a Yoga Vasishtha, written by Swami Gyanananda Ji Maharaj, wherein it is an abridged version of a Yoga Vasishtha of 30,000 shlokas. He has done this with a lot of sincere studies and brought it to only 2000 shlokas approximately in chapter 32. We have done first 20 chapters doing the revision of chapter reached till the 11th chapter last topic, that is Punya Pavan Samada. The Yoga Vasishtha consists of lot of stories inside the stories and which gives us the one of the gateways of liberation, that is inquiry, contemplation we are doing, so that we'll be always at peace, cheerful, happy, contented, blissful, and over and above relaxed and cool. That is what is the purpose. So nothing more than that. There are a lot of methods or meditations or paths where you can do this, but one of our path is like through Yoga Vasishtha. So whoever is interested in Yoga Vasishtha, he can continue with this path. So last topic is Punya Pavan Prasanga, the conversation of Punya and Pavan. So what is this Punya and Pavan? This Punya and Pavan are the sons of the two sons of the great sage named as Druga Brigata Brigatapas. Brigatapas. And that means the possessor of the spiritual knowledge. So the conversation before the conversation goes, let us see the background. He who is liberated from impurities of desire is Shuddha Trishna. They are liberated while alive. That is called as Jivan Moksha. So what is this moksha? Moksha is from desires. Everything I am. Other than that, nothing is an ultimate vision. Live in this world, but not as this world, or nor for this world. Living totally free from limitations of the relative world. So he is neither excited by good things, nor he hates the bad things, nor he has a burden of the past, not worried about the future. So he is totally liberated. How is liberated? अच्छी चीज़ों से परिणाम नहीं हो रहा है, बुरी चीज़ों से मन पे असर नहीं हो रहा है, पुरानी चीज़ें याद रखता नहीं और फ्यूचर चीज़ों के बारे में सोचता नहीं. Is totally liberated. He is never miserable. He is never frustrated, and that is a spiritual practice. Inside our hearts, no expectations from things and beings. Vitaraga, totally free from attachment. Those who are large hearted from the world, for them the world is a totally friend, there is no enemy for them. अहम निज परो व्यक्ति गणनाय लघु चेतसा उदार चरिताथम तू वासुदेव कुटुंबकम. यह मेरा है, यह पराया है, ऐसे छोटे विचार के व्यक्ति कहते हैं. उच्च चरित्र वाले लोग समस्त संसार को ही अपना परिवार मानते हैं. ऑल आर वन. They think this world is their own family. So now the story of these two brothers is Punya is fully Brahmadnya, whereas that is established in truth, whereas Pavan is educated illiterate. He is hanging around the world. Pavan, neither he is able to enjoy the world nor able to know the truth. So cry from whom, don't get too much involved in this world. You are miserable because you are not invoking the discrimination, that is Vivek. So समझदारी आना बहुत जरूरी है. If you have the discrimination, समझदारी or understanding, then you will not suffer in the world. You are holding on to the body identification. With the discrimination, all wrong notions has to be removed. So therefore, focus your attention as your divine nature and be established in the truth. So what is the minimum first requirement is keep stomach full and head empty. Be happy even though you are a married man or a grihastha or a vanaprastha or a sannyasta or a brahmastha. So that is a tapasya. Although there is everything possibility of the miserable, yet you continue to be happy. This is the highest tapasya. Truth is explained through the Puranic stories, which is easy for us to remember. That's what is the speciality of this Yoga Vashishta. So, tapasya, we have to give up the duality and come back to our own non-divine nature. Come to know you are divine. This knowledge is for practicing, is not for giving the lecture what I am giving. We are in this world on the vacation, we are not here permanently. So wherever you go, you remain happy. So, so look at your body as you look at the furniture. Be strong enough, you are divine. Don't be fool. Fools are miserable for no reasons. What is a spiritual practice? I am always there. It is never absent. So reject object, come to mind. Reject mind, come to the intellect. Surrender intellect at the feet of Lord, and there you are. This surrender is like wave surrendering itself to the ocean, like ornament surrendering itself to the gold. So, what is this surrender? The spatial status of name and form, listening, birth and death, success and failure, everything is dissolved. That non specific existence is what we are seeking for. So, here there is no doing, no achieving, and no losing. This is not someone becoming extraordinary, that is Padma Bhushan likewise. This this must go deep into our understanding. Spiritual practice is not becoming extraordinary. Spiritual practice is discerning all extra and remaining ordinary. Your That's what Sarojini Naidu used to say to Mahatma Gandhi. Your poverty is very expensive. Similarly, spirituality is becoming very special. Recognize this truth. This is our essential nature. So let us go through the story of Pavana and Punya. So in this very matter, Vashishta Rishi is narrating the story, and story goes like this: there is a sage, Drugapatas, and that is the name possessor of the special knowledge, and he was living in the Mahindra mountain. He has two sons, Punya and Pavan. The names are suggestive. The Drugapas means one doing religious austerity for a long time. Punya is virtuous, and Pavan is purifying. So on the death of the parent in the funeral rites, the Punya alone was intently occupied. The Punya is सब कुछ कर रहा था, whereas Pavan was sorrowful because he was purifying. He is half baked. Because Pavan was half covered, and Punya alone was possessed of spiritual knowledge. Punya spoke these words to Pavana, who was burned by the grief. Why do you mourn the death of our father who has gone only to his own supreme position of the self, called liberation, which is of the nature of one's own being? So thousands of your mothers and fathers have passed by in former time, and so have multitudes of sons and kinsmen in every birth and every incarnation of the living being. If the mother, father, son, and others are lamentable, or fit to be born out of the affliction, then how is that these relatives who have passed in thousands of number are not mourned by you? Pavana, surely you have been born formerly in the homes of lions, monkeys, elephants, ass, crow, and like the hundred thousands. So the king, kinder being born there on this incarnation, have gone away. How is it that you do not grieve for all of those? Think calmly of the self which is liberated from the existence and non-existence and is without old age and death. And don't be foolish. So what he's saying is telling him to be a samajhdar, telling him to have a understanding, he has to have a vivek. So thus Pavana was awakened or taught by that Punya in that matter. Thus both of them become profoundly learned in person who have gone to the end of spiritual knowledge and realization. So just by Punya telling or giving the satsang to the Pavana, giving the knowledge to the Pavana, bringing his understanding level to that level. So this inquiry is very important and sadhu sangha is important. So what are the four gateways of liberation? Tranquility, contentment, inquiry, and holy company. So what has happened here is now inquiry was going on, and the holy company of his brother Punya has brought Pavana also to the state of liberated. So no effect of the worldly things to him. Just so, it ought to be convinced by you with a mind free from thought or anxiety. The mind should not have a prejudiced mind. So, what is the chinta rahita chetasa? Without any worries, not the burden of worries on your head. You should not have burden on your worries on your head. So, when Mahatmas leave this body, it is called as Mahanirvan Utsav. If any Mahatma leaves this body, it is called as Mahanirvan Utsav. So, what has been told by the Punya to the Pavana Pavana was purifying, and Punya was already been spiritually well awakened. And it was all his efforts which he has done through the inquiry with the holy company of his father, sage, was already realized. So he was knowing that his father has gone to his own divine nature. So when you drop a body, nothing happens. So we have seen that in our meditation also. When you inhale and exhale, what happens is air goes inside and air goes outside. If air forgets to come out or goes inside, what happens is body is dropped. So air is inside, air is outside. That means body is in the air and air is not in the body. So this is totally different thinking. Wherein when body drops, nothing goes, nothing. We don't lose anything. It is what actually we are only leaving the body, which is an instrument for doing the spiritual practice. So that's what has been Punya is telling to Pavana. When his father has died, he said he has gone to the his own divine nature. So be relax, do your whatever work has come to your share. You are given the kartavya of performing the rights of your father, to perform the rights of your father. And accordingly, Pavana was also awakened by Punya in this manner, and both of them become profoundly learned spiritual knowledge, and they were realized. So this story of Punya and Pavana tells us to be happy, blissful, cheerful, contented, and over above, cool and relaxed under all the situation of life. With this place. ॐ पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति 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 हरि ओम तत्सत् श्रीरामचन्द्रार्पणमस्तु submitting the divine fruits to the holy fruits of Sri Ramakrishna.